Welcome back to another episode of Across the Bifrost. I'm your host, or co-host, I should say, Dr. Norbert, calling you from London. And with me tonight is...
Jamie. Hello. I'm not sure why we say we're from London. It doesn't matter. It's a podcast. We're from the internet. That's all that matters. But yes, welcome back, everyone.
From the internet. We've been inserted into reality by the internet.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, welcome back, everyone. I guess this is our first official episode. We've done our intro episode now. You know who we are. We got Pat's blessing.
Yes. Well, and TT as well, both of them.
And TT. Yes. Yeah. We got Pat's blessing on recording.
Right.
Yes, which is great and lovely, and we're very excited and terrified to carry on the legacy, as we said. And yeah, we'll start with a bit of an update, which is an amazing start to our Across the Bifrost career. We've accidentally deleted all the episodes that ever existed. So you might be noticing, hopefully you're not noticing actually, hopefully we fixed it in time. But basically, long story short, the process of us taking over all of the kind of the back end stuff and uploading a new episode has done some stuff. And all the existing episodes have been removed by Podbean. I'm calling them out, Podbean. They have a very bad thing for long story short. If you don't keep paying them, they delete all your episodes. It's really stupid.
Without telling you, or saying, give you an opportunity to download them or anything.
Back
it was
them up.
pretty drastic.
Yeah,
wow.
Real stupid. So we're currently on customer support with them. We have like 6 different support tickets open with them. So hopefully we can bring those back to you because I still want to listen to those old episodes. I don't know about you.
So, yeah, you never know. There's always some gems in there that always are worth taking another look at.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, if they're missing, we're sorry. We're working on getting them back. But anyway, hopefully they're back in time and this is completely irrelevant. So yeah, what are we talking about today, Norbert?
Tonight, we are going to start delving into the Spiderfoes box. Now, this is one of the earliest boxes that came out from AMG, where instead of just putting 2 characters into a box, or just one even, they kind of put like a whole affiliation update package together, and it's 4 characters. And so there's quite a few of them out now, which is really exciting. But this is one of the earliest ones, as I mentioned. So this will be the Spiderfoes box that we're going to start with tonight, and we're going to be looking at Vulture, and then we're going to go look at Sandman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't realize this was one of the first big affiliation boxes.
Yeah,
like 4 character booster boxes of new characters, right? Because we've seen affiliation boxes before, like the X-Men one and the Brotherhood one, which were like old characters put into a box together. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was 4 new characters. Big old injection to what I see as a lot of people's favorite team in the game. I remember when I first started playing, all the fun people were playing Green Goblin, Spiderfoes.
Oh, for sure. Spiderfoes. This box got tons of hype. From the characters themselves, but also just because of Spiderfoes. It's really interesting. So it'd be nice to reflect on how these characters have actually evolved into Spiderfoes in the current meta. Now that it's been a few months since the release. Yeah,
definitely. Big time. Okay, so should we start with Adrian Toombs? I didn't know that was his name.
Me neither. Toombs, which is funny because he's an old man.
Very good.
These Marvel guys are so clever. So good. Yes, so this is Vulture. Also known as Adrian Toombs, and he is on a 50 millimeter base. So he's on a big base, and in fact, that's one of the interesting things about this box is that all the characters are on big, medium-sized bases, which was interesting.
Yeah.
Right. So he's on a medium-sized base. He is size 2, and he moves medium. He's a 3 threat, and he has 5 health on his healthy side, and he has 5 health on his back side. His defense stats are 3 physical, 3 energy, 3 mystic. Right. So as we usually do, we're going to first start with just the attacks and then get on to the superpowers. So he's got 2 attacks. The first one is a builder. It's called Raptor Strike. It's physical, range 2, 5 dice for the attack. And you get power equal to the attack because it's a builder. But if he gets a wild, he also inflicts bleed on the target. Meanwhile, his spender is called Skyline Hunter. This is 4 threat, so a little pricey. 4 power, I should say. 4 power. A little pricey. Also physical attack, range 3, 8 dice. Before damage is dealt, if the character is size 3 or less, this character may throw it medium, which is a far throw and from a far distance. So
yeah, and guaranteed, worth noting as well, guaranteed throw. There's no trigger for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really good point. But I mean, think about it. If you're attacking already at size 3, full max range, and then throwing medium again, which is about another size 3, isn't it?
About that, yeah.
Yeah, that's a long way away.
Big displacement, yeah. Especially if the size 3 is on a medium base and you're, like you say, max range 3 away, that's a long way. You're throwing them away from you, yeah.
Well, what do you think of his core stats, first of all?
So, 3/3 defense, 5 health is just standard kind of 3 threat, nothing special. He's going to die a lot. He's going to get beat up. His job isn't to be in the middle of the fight and taking blows. And then those attacks, Raptor Strike is pretty standard, 5 dice, Wild Bleed. It's just very meat and veg,
Yes.
Very meat and veg so far, yeah. But Skyline Hunter is amazing. A guaranteed size 3 medium throw is huge. That is a big deal. And 8 dice is a very big deal for a 3 threat as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and it costs 4 power, but we'll get onto that. I've got a note to talk about that.
Okay.
There's a running theme here, but yes, we'll get back to that. So yeah, I think it's a great spender.
Okay. Now, actually, the first active superpower might be something that you want to couple that Skyline Hunter with, which is hit and run. It's 2 power, so now it's very pricey, so it's 6 power altogether. But this hit and run is the classic where you can make an attack action, but then you can make a move action for free after it. And so I'm thinking that if you throw some big nasty far away into Africa, then hit and run that actually moves him back out of the fray for sure.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, as if there wasn't already enough distance we were talking about before. You're then moving back, so you are now miles away from whoever that was. Yeah,
I think the point though is that you said he's not a brawler, and he's not. These are the kinds of tricks that he's going to have to use. You have to be clever about his positioning to keep him alive and relevant.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, he's got 1 reactive superpower, which is really interesting. Also 2 power. It's called Abduct. During its activation, when this character begins a move action within 2 of an enemy character, it may use this superpower. After the move action is resolved, place the enemy character within 2 of its current position. You can only use it once per turn.
Yeah, now this is really interesting.
Yeah, it's right up your street. This is your kind of play, isn't it?
Yeah, not hurting anyone, just moving them around, which I love. Yeah, so this is great. I mean, I don't think we'd seen anything really like this before. Maybe Airlift on Captain America, Sam Wilson, and that's only for friendlies. This is the first time we saw it moving enemies.
Yeah,
and it's great. It's probably the reason you're bringing Vulture. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, the throw. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably looking to abduct first, and then the Skyline Hunter is a bonus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's also so after this move action is resolved, and you mentioned hit and run. You make an attack action followed by a move action. So this couples with hit and run. So there is a world with a sweet 8 power where you can hit and run, Skyline Hunter, run away, and then move someone else that was near you as well and move them off a point maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can think about it. Would you think a productive activation for this guy would be to move in to an enemy, pay for abduct, and move back into your bunker basically, and hence get the character within range, and that's it.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that it's a 3 threat, and that's a fair 3 threat activation. I think to move in, pay 2, move back, and displace someone sizeless as well. Sizeless displace.
Good point. Yes, those sentinels again. Yeah. Sentinels.
Yeah, sentinels keep coming up. They can be displaced by this, and Dormammu. So. It's kind of, on Gwen, Ghost Spider, you'll pay 2 power to do a sizes displace, right? To push someone around and to move them off a point, and that's a pretty good activation for her. She also has impact webbing, which, maybe Vulture doesn't have, but I think it's I think you're right. Yeah, that is you kind of activate Vulture last. When someone's activated and they're stood on a point, he runs in, he abducts them, pushes them off a point, and he moves himself to safety or stays on the point, whatever's going on. I think is fine for a 3 threat.
That's a good point you're making, though. You alluded about the place. The place is wherever within 2. So you can move it towards or away, depending on what you need. Yeah,
exactly. I like your idea of moving them towards your bunker. If you want to hurt someone, you can move them towards your team and they can beat them up. Or if it's someone scary, move them away. Lots of really cool stuff you can do with this kit.
Now, the problem he's got is that you've been talking about all this fun stuff. It costs a lot of power.
Yeah.
He's only got that one builder, which is range 2, which is really annoying for a squishy guy like this. However, he's got his 2 passive superpowers to help out. One is flight, which is not surprising. The other one, though, is more important. Scientific hubris. Whenever this character rolls dice, so that means not just attacks and defenses, but whenever, after the effect is resolved, if you roll a crit, you gain a power.
Yeah, really good. Really good. I think, like you said, this guy needs power. And we may get onto it later, but Spiderfoes, if you're playing him in Spiderfoes, they like to play pay to flips. So when you're interacting with the pay to flip, you are rolling dice, and this counts for that as well. So if you roll a crit, you're getting extra power. And Vulture needs all the power he can get. He's very, very good at spending power and not very good at generating it. So Scientific Hubris kind of fixes that.
Yeah. Although you're making a good point, though, about pay to flips as well. If he's got medium base and medium move, he can chug around all the maps and flip stuff.
Yeah. Sword base, for example, he can go between 2 points on a sword base. So you can move. You can start on a sword base, pay to flip it, move, flip that one, and then if you really want, you can move to a third one. I think, medium base maneuver, I'm pretty sure gets to 3 bases because Beast does, right, in X-Men. He's going to be running around flipping points, and if he has excess power, he can be abducting people while he's doing it. This guy is going to have a lot of fun on pay to flips once he gets the power going.
Yeah, right. His backside is identical to his front, and so just to repeat, his injured side has 5 hit points, which is the same as his healthy side. He is found in both Criminal Syndicate and Spiderfoes.
Yes, all of these guys are. Everyone in this box is also a criminal.
Okay.
Which makes sense.
Do you see him synergizing with Crims very much?
I mean, you're the Crims guy. What do you think?
Well, where Kingpin it should work a little bit. I mean, to say, Kingpin wants you to hold not pay to flips. Of course, each of the characters count as 2 with Kingpin, but nonetheless, sometimes people double up on him, and this guy could move a character off that point, and so you can win it that way. Shadowland Daredevil, probably not so helpful. I don't see
Vulture doing lots of attacks.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably attacking 2 or 3 times a game, probably.
Yeah. MODOK, you don't want to bodyguard into this guy. And the wilds aren't really helpful. So marginal in Criminal Syndicate, maybe best on Kingpin.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But Spiderfoes, I think he's awesome. I think he's really awesome. That leadership, which we're going to get onto later, but the leadership, if you get a bit of extra power there, the problem is you need to survive to get the extra power, and Vulture isn't going to be great at surviving. But when he does have the extra power, or if he flips after being dazed, he's going to do a lot of work. So.
Let's be clear. It's by Spiderfoes, we mean basically Doc Ock 2, not Green Goblin's leadership.
Yes, sorry, I should have clarified that.
Yeah. It's so obvious to us now, but just people know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. He's got 2 related team tactics cards according to Jarvis's protocol, which is a fantastic service. If you don't use it, you should really think about it. It's on the web, it's on apps. It's a whole ecosystem of interesting information and gaming tools for Marvel Crisis Protocol. Okay, first one is founding members. Founding members, it could be anybody, really. So we'll come back to this. When do you want to do this card? At the end of the...
Let's do it now, yeah.
All right.
It's on Vulture's page, that's fine.
Okay. So founding members, a fun card. It's a Spiderfoes affiliated card. It is reactive. And during the power phase, an allied Spiderfoes character can play this card. Okay? During the entire round, each time an enemy character suffers damage from an allied effect, choose up to one of the listed allied characters that is within 2 of that enemy character. The enemy character gains the special condition shown below corresponding to the chosen allied characters. So just to think about it, for the entire round, anytime an enemy suffers damage, if one of the Spiderfoes is within 2 of that enemy, the enemy gets a special condition. And the type of condition depends on who you are. So Sandman gives out slows, which is very thematic. Vulture gives out bleed, which works with his theme already about giving out bleed. Mysterio gives out hex. Otto Octavius, so either Doc Ock, will give out stun. Electro will give out shock, which is also thematic. And lastly, Kraven the Hunter gives out poison, also thematic. Yeah.
We've both paused. Why have we both paused here? This is a lot of words. There's a lot of words on this card. It must be good, right?
I think it could be good for the fact that every time you do damage, this happens.
That's a big deal, actually, yeah, because it's not from attacks. It suffers damage from an allied effect. So if Vulture does his spender, and throws someone, he hurts someone, he probably has hurt them because he's rolled 8 dice into them, and then throws them into someone else, they're both triggering this effect. So if you throw a guy into another guy and Mysterio is stood next to them, they're both getting hex. Right.
And that's the part that's a little tricky for me. You have to be within 2 of the enemy character. Of course, it could be any character. It doesn't have to be the one that's doing the attack or the throw or whatever. It could be just one just stood around there. But you have to be within 2 of it. So take a lot to get off. And then, of course, are these special conditions, something that you want in your game?
Yeah. I think, it's a wider discussion about special conditions. Like, how impactful are they, really? I think they're quite niche. The stun, which Otto Octavius gives out here, stun is huge on some characters, right? Like Thor 2 right now is terrifying, and stun really nerfs him a little bit. And there's a bunch of people that are like that, and so that could be quite clutch. But do you want to bring a whole tactics card just to give stun to someone? Maybe not. I think best case scenario, this card you're going to give out like a couple bleeds, a couple stuns, maybe, right?
Yeah,
maybe a hex if Mysterio is in danger, which he shouldn't be up that close anyway. I don't know. It's a lot. It's very Spiderfoes-y. I think there's a theme with Spiderfoes, which is big elaborate schemes, which is brilliant. And actually, I genuinely think they're one of the better designed affiliations from AMG. It's awesome. Lots of like a Rube Goldberg machine to make all this stuff happen, and then the effect is kind of like lame, and then Spider-Man just punches them in the face anyway. It kind of feels very thematic. So this feels like a lot of work to get a couple cool conditions out, maybe.
Yeah. So either have a serious plan for this. Like if only Apocalypse could be part of this somehow. That would be amazing.
Yeah. Apocalypse is all about the conditions. But Apocalypse can dish out loads of conditions. And that's why his condition game is the first time I think really it's been that impressive.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
All right. The other card that's listed with him on Jarvis's protocol is called Rejuvenation. This is a card just for him. It's unaffiliated, so you can use it no matter where he is found. It's active. You play it during his activation. This character and all allied characters within 2 of Vulture remove all special conditions from themselves.
Yeah. Now, the artwork here is very important, I think, because one, he's a beautiful man. I've never realized Vulture was that good looking when he was young. There he
when
is.
He was younger.
He was great.
When he was younger.
He was great.
It's a different time.
Yeah. And 2, he is being chased by 2 web warriors, by 2 Spider-Mans in that picture. And I think that's where this card comes in. I think the Spiderfoes are inherently, supposed to be the counter. Well, not the counter, but they're supposed to go up against web warriors, and have a fair fight. And web warriors love giving out slow, especially under Amazing Spider-Man. And I think this is very thematic for that. You can remove all those conditions, all those slows, and suddenly, you're not all webbed up anymore.
That's a really good point. Yeah. This is great, especially if you have a bunker that's set up. He could be within quite a few people within 2. Interesting.
Yeah. Anyone that's gone against web warriors, if you know that the all webbed up turn is huge, right? They give out a bunch of slows. Your team is slowed, and when they get hit, if they have slow, they get extra dice thrown at them. This will just cut that in half. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and if they give it out at close to the beginning of the turn. No, where am I going with this? I guess what I was trying to say is they typically go wide. And so you could have priority next turn and be able to play this card straight away and get those slows off. Or during the middle of a turn when they put it on and then intend to start hitting you with them straight away. Yeah, they have to hit you straight away when they put the slows on. So yeah, you would have to reserve Vulture from moving until they decided to play the card.
So what tends to happen is, a web warrior character will go, they'll play all webbed up, and then they'll punch you a bunch, and it'll really hurt. And then they line up the rest of their team to run in and punch you next activation. But with this card, after the first activation, so long as Vulture has survived it, hopefully he's somewhere safe, he can run in and play this card. And then it means the next web warrior activation isn't going to be going into a bunch of slowed characters, so they don't get the extra dice. So it's a nice kind of not quite a counter card. Well, it is a counter card. What am I trying to think? Oh, counter spell. It's not quite a counter spell because you'll still get all webbed up off, but this will stop further pain from happening. It's also, I've mentioned, it's free, by the way. Vulture just plays it for free.
Yeah.
And him and all our characters remove all special conditions. So that includes stagger. So if someone's staggered, you can remove that as well, which is pretty cool.
Interesting.
And it's unaffiliated. So if you do end up splashing Vulture, take this card with you.
Yeah, that's where I was going to wrap this segment up. Is this like, do you see him having a role in another affiliation?
Yeah, it's tricky.
Mm.
His job is to be a 3 threat that moves people around, right? And there's a bunch of those in the game.
Right.
Arguably better than this. You've got Spectacular Spider-Man now, who is probably the best 3 threat in the game at moving people around. And then you've got Ghost Spider, who's probably second best. And there's probably a few more. And then there's Vulture. So I don't know. I think that this guy belongs in Spiderfoes and has a great home in Spiderfoes. And especially Rejuvenation, I think belongs in every Spiderfoes 10. Because if you go against Web Warriors, you want this, and you just play it when you're worried about Web Warriors or Apocalypse maybe covering you conditions.
Yeah, for sure against APOC.
Yeah, so Vulture feels like a great tool for Spiderfoes. I'm not sure where else we'd see him.
And I'm not surprised by that because lately AMG have dialed in their development game, and the characters that have been coming out tend to not be splashable. Not so readily splashable, which I think is great. It helps them, I think, keep their balance in check, and also makes it a little easier for you to decide how to use these characters. Although people always come up with really interesting splashes. Yeah,
the splash mechanic is interesting in MCP because I think everybody comes to the game because they want to play their favorite team. So I'm going to play Brotherhood or Avengers, and I'm not going to splash anyone. And then you eventually start splashing people. But there's also people that think that the splash mechanic is amazing. Because it's not nothing like that in other games. Not many other games anyway. You kind of in most games you're locked in, right, to a certain faction. You can't deviate. So the idea of them bringing Thanos with Spiderfoes, people love. It's interesting. But yeah, I think Vulture has, he's with the 4-cost spender, and he's got a couple of 2-cost superpowers. There's a place for him in like Captain America 1, Avengers, maybe in Professor Xavier. Because they can chuck in, they can help him reduce his powers, and he's going to be, getting a lot more stuff done. But again, you're comparing him to other 3 threats to do the same job, right? And he's probably like 4th or 5th best in the game at doing
that. Cool. Right. Let us move on to the second character that we're going to talk about today, which is Sandman.
Flint Marko. Another good name.
Flint. So good. Thank you, good. Marvel. Okay, he is on a 50 millimeter base. He is 4 threat. He's size 3, and he only moves short. But he does have 6 hit points on his front side, and he's got 7 on his back side. His defense stats are really good. 4 physical, 4 energy, 3 mystic. What do you think so far?
Pretty cool. High numbers.
Yeah.
4,
especially
4, 3,
energy.
6, 7. Yeah, high energy is good. Yeah, and he's 6 and 7. I could have seen an argument for this guy being 2 energy defense because sand and being turned into glass. One of those.
Yeah.
So 4/3 is very fair. Yeah, very good.
Yep. So it makes him good for flipping stuff if he can get to those points as
flips,
well. Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at his attacks. He's got. No. Let's first talk about the fact that he's got grunts.
Yes.
He's got 2 grunts, which is unusual and interesting. The grunts are on small bases, and I know this because somebody at a tournament recently showed up with them on medium bases, which was a lot of fun.
That's because they went to the future and listened to this episode where you said that everyone in this box is on a medium base. That's not true. The sand constructs are not. They're on small bases.
They're on small bases. There's 2 of them, colloquially known as Fisty and Twisty.
Yeah.
Based on the way they look.
Yeah. And
their stats are they have 2 health. They move short, but they're size 3, which is amazing. Defenses are 1, 1, and 1. Should we look at their abilities first, or should we do Sandman's?
Yeah, now we're here. Let's look at the constructs.
Okay, so we got 2 constructs, as I said, that belong to Sandman. They have 1 attack, but loads of passive superpowers. So the 1 attack is called Sand Slap. It's range 2, 4 dice, no power cost. And they have something called Underfoot. After this attack is resolved, if it dealt damage, this character pushes the target character short. And that I note that that's an omnidirectional push.
Yes, very good, very powerful.
Yeah, and as we know, grunts with 4 dice roll extraordinarily high.
Yeah. Well, what's better than a grunt rolling 4 dice attacks? 2 grunts rolling 4 dice attacks. Yeah. So these guys, you got to roll a lot of dice with Sandman. He has very busy turns.
Yeah. So the passives, boy, oh boy, there's 3 of them. One is called Crumbling Form. This character can't pick up, hold, contest, or interact with objective tokens. So basically, it has no scenario play. It's also got something called Difficult Terrain. When this character would suffer damage from a physical attack, reduce the amount suffered by 1 to a minimum 1. Oh, damage reduction 1. Amazing. It also can't be thrown and does not suffer damage from collisions. I didn't know about this stuff. Yeah,
that's big. It's size 3. So these could be a horrible weapon against Sandman if you could throw size 3s into him. So they've stopped these from being thrown, which makes sense.
Yeah, cool. And the last passive is Dust to Dust. At the end of an allied Sandman's activation, if this character is not within 3 of it, this character is KO'd. Additionally, whenever an allied Sandman is dazed, this character is KO'd. So basically, they have to stay within 3 of it at the end of the activation. Size 3 grunts is kind of interesting. They have a pretty short attack, and they got to stay close to him, though.
Yeah, they're kind of more of an extension of him.
Yes.
When we see grunts, like you've run Shadowlands Daredevil, right? With ninjas, it's very often that you separate them, right? Across the board.
I do a lot, actually. I do.
Very distant, doing different jobs on different sides of the board. So this is the opposite. They need to stay near Sandman, which is kind of cool. It makes Sandman look huge, which I love in the game. Thematically on the table, he's got like a hand coming out of the ground and stuff. So that's really cool. These are interesting. The big thing with them is any direction push if they deal damage, which we'll come back to when we talk about where Sandman maybe belongs. But you're going to roll a lot of dice with these constructs, and there's going to be a lot of times you're going to push damage through. Don't laugh at 4 dice. Anyone that's played grunts knows what 4 dice feels like.
It's awful. I always do a little pucker when those guys, when a grunt starts throwing stuff. Okay, going back to Sandman then. He's got 3 attacks. They're all physical. The first one is a builder, range 2, 5 dice, no power. You get power equal to the damage dealt. And then if you roll a wild, you get a throw. After the attack is resolved, if the character is size 2 or less, you can throw it short, any direction. The next attack is called Sandblast, also no power, but this is a beam 3, which is juicy. 5 dice. It's also got underfoot. After each attack is resolved, if it dealt damage, this character pushes the target character short. Again, no direction specified, also no size specified. What's going on here?
This is crazy, actually. Yeah, there's a lot of it's all directionless and very little limitation on the size. Yeah.
And I think this is going to allude to, the high ceiling that this character has. Yeah. I think he's very hard to run, honestly, but we'll come to that. In part because of his flexibility and also his restrictions. The last item is his Spender. It's expensive at range power 4. It's range 2, 8 dice, and the ability is add 2 dice to this attack for each allied sand construct within 2 of the target character. Now that's up to then 12 dice.
Yes,
wow.
Yes. You didn't say the name of the attack. It's my favorite thing on this card.
It's called punching your ticket.
Punching your ticket. Very, very New York.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, you want to get, both your sand constructs out. And because they have to stay within 3 of Sandman, you're all grouped up. And because before you get to even Sandman's activation, you've got 2 actions from each of the constructs. So you have 4 chances to deal damage. And when you deal damage, you can push them short. So you can push them towards Sandman exactly where you want to be, keeping them within 2 of the sand constructs. So you basically have 4 opportunities to get them exactly where you want them, to then pay 4 to do a 12 dice attack. It's crazy. Like it's so good.
Crazy. Yeah. So it's just about positioning and being, thinking about how to do that, because they only move short. All these 3 things move short. They got to stay within 3 each other at the end of the activation anyway. But I mean, if you can kind of work out that trigonometry, then suddenly this guy is going to be punching way above his weight.
Punching his ticket. Punching your ticket.
Punching the ticket.
Punching tickets all over the place. Yeah. I think that you've hit the nail on the head. That's where the ceiling comes in, right? You're controlling 3 characters with 6 actions, and you need to learn how to, make the most of it, and react to when the triggers go off and when they don't go off, and what happens next. It's huge. It's a huge ceiling. I can see someone playing Sandman for a year and still learning new tricks with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, he's got 1 active superpower called Reabsorb. It costs 3 power. Choose an allied sand construct within 3 of this character. Place this character within one of the chosen sand construct, then the sand construct is KO'd, and this character removes 1 damage from itself. So fluffy. Oh my goodness. I love
fluffy?
it.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean like rich?
Thematic.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
thematic.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just perfect that you can see him so sliding out from, dissolving himself, but then filling himself back up into where the sand construct is.
So cool. They had a lot of fun designing this guy, for sure.
Yeah,
He feels very Sandman-y. Yeah.
So it's an expensive superpower, but does get around his movement restrictions quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure. And he heals, right? Yeah, this character removes 1 from himself, and then we'll get to it in a minute. Spoilers, but he has healing factor as well. Mm-hmm. So it's a fair amount of healing.
But I like it because the grunts go first. So they go first. They can do some actions and what have you. And then if he has 3 power, he can then take advantage of their new position to get into somewhere there.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, that this is where more of the ceiling is revealed. With your grunt activation, if you need Sandman to get out of somewhere or get onto a point or something, you can double move with Sand construct, right, to get them exactly where you want them, so that you can then reabsorb and move Sandman a very long distance, like range 3, and then within range 1 of the construct. You're going far. And you're healing in the process. This is like a great escape tool. It's a great engage tool. It's very, very flexible. Yeah,
escape tool. I wasn't thinking in that direction, but you're absolutely right. Okay, yeah. So his passives now, he's got a lot of those. One was, you mentioned, he's got healing factor 1, which is always nice. He's got wall crawler, which is nice. I'm going to skip the bigger one and talk about the like direct ability he has called sand manipulation. This character gains 1 power whenever an allied sand construct deals damage or suffers damage from an enemy effect, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's so good because he's going to have all the power he needs. Because your fisty and twisty, the constructs, are going to be slapping people about and generating you loads of power. Yeah,
and then when they get kicked down because they're easy to kill, you get a power for that too.
Yeah.
So loads of power. Yeah. Now, why would he want some of that power beyond just doing attacks and so forth? Well, here's the last passive, and this is quite important to understand. Again, part of his learning how to use him. It's called Create Sand Construct. So you may have 2 of these sand constructs in a squad instead of normally 1. You must activate all of them ahead of the character's activation. Okay, that's fine. At the start of this character's activation, if there are fewer than 2 sand constructs in play, this character may suffer 2 damage. If it does, place 1 sand construct into play within 2 of this character. It gains an activated token and is part of your squad. Why this is particularly important is that, unfortunately, the AMG has ruled that upon deployment, he only gets 1 sand construct to start the game with. So to get 2 straight away, you need to do this ability.
Yes, and it's a may. You may choose to do it. If you don't want Sandman to take the damage to get a new construct out, you can choose not to.
Right.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning, obviously, you suffer 2 damage and his healing factor is 1. So you're going to heal 1 of those off.
Right. Yeah, that's a very good point. Good point. But it makes it tricky to use this guy then. Although Angus, who's in the London meta, he's gotten very clever about how to use those various sand constructs and when to pull them out. So again, kind of just going to the point, the more you practice with this guy, I think the more you're going to get some value out of the way he works.
Yeah, 100%. I think this guy is, a lot of Spiderfoes are pick them up because you like the Spider-Man cartoon and you want to play some Spiderfoes. This guy's got a lot of depth to him. Not that the others don't, but this guy has a lot. I think you could play 1,000 games of Sandman and still figure out new things you can do with him. Do you want to quickly walk us through? You play a lot more grunts than I do. Do you want to quickly walk us through what the grunt rules are for deployment?
Okay. First of all, and this is when people get messed up all the time, when you have a character with a grunt, during deployment, you must put down the grunt first ahead of time. Loads of times it doesn't really matter. Your opponent might be fine with it, but technically it's not supposed to be that way. And sometimes it can matter. So it's good just to get in the habit of putting the grunt down first and then the parent. Mm-hmm. Secondly is they have to activate ahead of the parent at all times. If your parent has been dazed or activated, they don't get to go. What else am I thinking?
You can't have multiple grunt characters, right?
Of the same type, you mean? What do you mean?
Well, so could you have Sandman and Shadowlands Daredevil with both their grunts?
Oh, correct. You cannot. Yeah, okay. Only one at a time. And it gets even more complicated with some parents because some parents share the same type of construct. So there are rules about how you have to assign one of the parents to start with, but it can switch.
So like Daredevil and Elektra, right? They share the ninjas. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay. Shared custody.
I suggest you go onto Jarvis's protocol into the reference section and pull up the grunt rules and take a quick read through them all, because sometimes they can matter.
Yeah, there you go. So the short version is Sandman starts with one construct, and then if he wants another one on his first turn, recommended, because he's probably not going to take much damage, so he can afford to suffer damage. On his first activation, he may suffer 2, put a construct down. So now you have 2 constructs in, and then at the end of his turn, he'll heal him back to 1 anyway. So you're only really taking the damage for that. So it's fine to do it at the start of the game.
Yeah, it's not as bad as the internet made it out to be. They found out it was 2
fine.
at once. Yeah, it's fine, guys. It's okay. According to Jarvis's protocol, there's no differences between the two sides of the cards, apart from the stamina going from 6 on the healthy side to 7 on the injured side. All right. He is in Crims and Spiderfoes. I think we talked about this a little bit. Criminal Syndicate, where would he fit?
So there are some big names here that I think we should definitely talk about. And I want to take one, but I want you to take the other. I think you need to talk about Shadowlands Daredevil and how the leadership interacts with Sandman.
Okay. Sure. So Shadowland Daredevil's leadership is basically you get to re-roll if the target is holding an extract or is sitting on a secure. So we already said that this guy can move people on and off a point potentially. So you can potentially move them on a point, and therefore it starts to get the bonus reroll. Let's see what else. How else did I use this guy?
So it's every attack, right? That's the key thing with leadership.
Yeah,
so
sure.
That's
6 attacks. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, exactly. So if Sandman's facing down someone on a secure or holding an extract, then the grunts get rerolls on all of their attacks. That's 4 attacks with 4 rerolls, and then Sandman goes and gets rerolls on all of his attacks as well.
Yeah.
And he's got a beam, so he's beaming. If he's beaming multiple people who are scoring points, he's getting rerolls on all those as well.
Oh gosh, yeah, the beam. Okay, yep.
It's an insane amount of rerolls, and also with the grunts, you want the constructs, you want them to be pushing damage through. So the Daredevil reroll helps them do that. And you're going to be a lot more consistent with getting the damage through so that you can push people, because that trigger is only on when they deal damage, remember? So, I think that, Thanos, when he activates and rearranges the entire board, I think Sandman is like a 4 threat Thanos here. He's got a lot of opportunities to move people around. And punching your ticket is so fun, because if you haven't moved them and they're still where they want to be, just punch them. Just roll 12 dice at them.
I didn't realize it was 2 dice per sand contract. I had to be careful about that now to not let them get too close.
It's scary. Yeah, it's scary. Yeah. So and the kind of hidden thing here as well is that Sandman's quite tanky. He's 4/4/3 with 6 health, 7 health. He and healing factor. He is likely to survive till the end of the round when everyone's activated, and then you can start pushing people around and score a bunch of points with him. So I think that's probably key for him. But Shadowlands Daredevil I thought was worth shouting out.
Sure, but you have an even spicier take.
Oh, I have a spicy take. Yes,
go on.
Claw. So this is part my take, part Angus's take, because as you said, Angus plays a lot of Sandman, and he also is a big advocate for Claw, who some would consider one of the worst leaders in the game, but we'll see. The jury's out. So Claw's leadership, basically, if or whenever an ally is dazed or KO'd, after the effect's resolved, Claw may advance short. So the point of Claw is that he is a big 5 threat model in the middle of the battlefield, and he's just putting out beams, big old beams. He loves a big beam. He's got a range 5 beam, and he just loves hitting people. So his leadership helps him move around. Now, it doesn't say when an allied non-grunt character. So Sandman's grunts count. So Sandman brings 2 extra ways to trigger the leadership on little grunts that die all the time and are supposed to die all the time. It's kind of their job. If Sandman gets his grunts pushing people around, I think that you can basically use that, because all the pushes are omnidirectional, and Sandman himself can throw and push. Or is it just pushes? It might be both. I'm not sure. Can you scroll up on Sandman's card?
Oh yeah.
It's throw and a push. Yeah. So basically, lots of movement. I think you can line up the perfect beam for Claw to go to town on, basically.
Yeah, and I want to expand on what you said about Angus's move, because I hope this is not hidden tech, but you've done it. You go ahead, you got it already. Okay, never mind.
I've got it written down.
Yeah,
it was
go for it. Yeah, it is really good. He did it to me.
So This is Angus. I'm giving full credit to Angus on Discord, but he said basically Sandman starts right. He starts the game with his construct grunt. You get Claw to go first, and Claw can move up to the midline and grab an extract, or you can leave Claw where he is. It doesn't matter. Sandman goes and he moves outside of range 3 of his construct.
On purpose.
On purpose, yes. So he ends his turn outside of range 3 of the construct, which kills the construct. They can't survive outside of range 3.
Well, actually, I think he actually goes to the trouble of building the second one first and then moving both of them out of range. Yeah.
Oh, so it's 2? Oh my God, it stacks?
Yeah,
so he does it twice? Okay, he's done this against you, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sandman spawns his construct, moves outside of range 3, 2 constructs die, and that triggers Claw's leadership twice. So he can now move short twice. Yep. So if he's on the midline, he can now be back on the deployment line if he wants, or if he's on deployment line, he's now double moved to the midline and ready to go. So yeah, if you're playing Claw, you probably want ways of getting Claw to have the most effective activations, and this gives him 2 short moves for free, which is hilarious.
Yeah, and he could continue doing that all game. I mean, not both of them necessarily, but at least one. When he regenerates one and then lets that one die, Claw can move around again.
Yeah. There you go. So,
but that's again going into this trigonometry that you have to figure out. So,
Sandman will make you feel very smart if you play him. I think he's a big brain character. You'll feel very smart and big brain if you pull off some of this stuff. So, yeah.
All right. He's got one card dedicated to himself called Static Arc. It's unaffiliated. It's active. If Sandman and all allied sand constructs are all within 5 of each other, not hard, Sandman and Electro may each spend 1 power to play this card. Draw a line between each allied sand construct, each other allied sand construct, and Sandman. Each enemy character overlapped by 1 or more of these lines suffers 1 damage and gains the shock special condition. Ooh.
Round of applause for another beautifully themed card.
Yeah. Absolutely well themed. So funny. So basically it's Sandman stringing up all these like conductors around the table, and then Electro comes and touches them and electrifies them essentially.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, really cool. And we love a team up card. Team up cards are the most fun cards and often the least powerful cards. And this one is no exception to that rule. It's fine. It's very cool. It's fun. Definitely fun. But then all that work, and you're paying 1 each, which is nice and cheap, but everyone suffers 1 and gains shock, which is kind of cool, I guess. You know, it's fun.
I don't know. I think if this card were free, if it were free, it wouldn't be OP.
Yeah,
either. You know what I mean?
Be right. You might be right. Yeah, I mean, maybe if it did, like, maybe there was a dice roll involved, like you had like a tricks and traps-esque roll on each person in there. I don't know. Maybe that's too strong, but yeah, 1 damage and shock is fine. You know, maybe if you're in a brawl of like a team of equal power of you, and then you want to hand out shock to everyone, which gives you the edge in the fight. That's kind of cool. But it's a tactics card, and you know that's Spiderfoes have amazing tactics cards. I don't know if they had the space for this one.
Well, one thing I'll point out is it's not dependent on activation either, so you can do it anytime during your turn.
That's true. Yeah, that's true, which is pretty cool. You know.
Yeah, never know. But yeah, that looks like hard to get off, although it does look very thematic.
Again, Spiderfoes, lots of like a big Rube Goldberg machine to get a cool thing at the end, and then it's kind of lackluster, which is very on theme, I think.
That's right. It is an machination, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Cool. That wraps up this part of the Spiderfoes box.
Yeah. So now we're on to Sleeve It or Heave It.
Woohoo!
Sleeve it or heave it, take it or leave it. Sleeve it or heave it, can't you believe it?
Yes, it's back.
Theme music. We have theme music and everything. You just heard it. We're back. We hope. Yeah, if it all went right, if it all went to plan. So, Sleeve It or Heave It. I brought the card along this week, Noel, but I hope it's okay.
Yeah, please.
I have brought, so because we're making this card of the week, not just tactics card, I have brought Dr. Octopus, Sinister Scientist.
Okay. This is Doc Ock 2.
Yes, Otto Octavius. So I want to go through one very specific part of this card, So this came out in the second core box, which is very exciting because, core boxes are usually filled with Avengers and Cabal. And this guy snuck in with a cheeky little leadership in there, which was kind of a hint to the big Spiderfoes box that was coming out. So it's the leadership that I want to look at.
Okay.
Do you want to read it?
Yeah, sure thing. Okay, so this is Doc Ock's Sinister Scientist, if you're following along. His affiliation is Spiderfoes. It's called Sinister 6. Once per turn, after an attack targeting an allied character is resolved, if that character is not dazed, it gains a power. So every time that you get beaten up by an attack, you get a power. And additionally, once per turn, when an allied character suffers damage from an enemy attack, after that attack is resolved, it may remove one of the following special conditions from itself: shock, slow, or incinerate. I can't tell you how many times I've been so big-brained and put together some interesting combo of attacks to try to get a condition that I need on there. And he's just like, oh yeah, it comes off. Like, oh.
Yeah. This is the flip side to, Spiderfoes and their dastardly schemes. This is a scientist doing real good work. Doc Ock is the brains of the operation, and this really shows. It's great. So yeah, there's two very strong effects here. So let's start with, the status condition one you mentioned. Yeah, shock, slow, incinerate. Those
all good ones.
All good ones, yeah, exactly. If Spiderfoes, I think, like a brawl. They like a little fight in the middle. They're not an all-out attrition team, but they like a couple, little, smaller fights. And shock and incinerate make those fights way harder. So they're gone. And slow, obviously, we mentioned before that they're all on medium bases, so they're all quite fast, and they like pay to flips, so they like to run around. And slow really hampers that. So yeah, you lose that. So that's great. A great set of conditions to lose. Yeah.
No, go on.
I was going to move on to the power part.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
So this is the main thing here, I think. So once per turn, after attack target, basically, if you get attacked and you survive, you're not dazed, you gain a power. Yeah. So this is why I think, and Tom Brown pointed this out, our local Spiderfoes player, why all the spenders on everyone in that box cost 4. Because they're quite good spenders, so they go above the normal cost is 3 for a spender on a 3 threat, usually, and they go above that because this leadership activates them, we think, and it's very important for them. So basically, Spiderfoes really punish you for attacking them and not killing them, basically, because they get a bunch of power. And then also Rhino is one of their best affiliated characters, one of the most popular, and he has Ornery, which is the same effect. So he gets hit. He gains the power from taking damage, then he gains a power from Ornery, and then if he's under Doc Ock, he gains a power for that as well. So if you hit Rhino once, he's getting a ton of power. Yeah. I wanted to highlight this because I think it really activates every character in this box.
Absolutely. And I think it makes Spiderfoes a really fun affiliation. I mean, it really changes their entire dynamic compared to the Green Goblin leadership. And Doc Ock is no slouch himself in a brawl.
Yeah, definitely.
He's got a lot of he hits pretty hard, and he's got a lot of movement. He displacement shenanigans on top of it all, and is rather tanky. So
he's also got scientific hubris, which we've sung the praises off on Vulture, and it's the same ability.
Same ability where he gets a power for every time he rolls a crit.
Yeah.
So it's great, and he's really done good things for Spiderfoes. So good call on this card. Quite important to make the characters that we just reviewed really sing.
For sure. Cool. All right. Any closing thoughts on those characters, Norbert?
No. Should we move on to any other business?
Yes.
Okay. This will be out of date or out of time sync, but you are running a tournament next weekend.
Am I? Oh yeah, I am. A Christmas tournament. Yes.
Yay! Christmas.
Yeah, I am. It's going to be at Spellbound Games, and I thought that it's Christmas, we want to try something a bit more casual, a bit less try hard. So we're doing a fun unrated tournament. We're using the one-shot terrain rules. So if anyone doesn't know those, AMG released a bunch of rules for their official terrain. Almost every official piece of terrain has rules with it, which is really fun. Even the dumpsters. So the dumpsters you can rifle through and you can find stuff, and you might find a super suit and it gives you a power or whatever. Down to the cement truck, Norbert, that you kindly lent me for the tournament. Yeah. You can throw a cement truck at someone and it gives them slow because they're covered in cement.
Yeah, that's thematic.
Yeah.
Are any of them attached to size 1 pieces?
I don't think so. No, because that's just lampposts, right? Lampposts and not bins, the post box.
And traffic lights.
Traffic lights. Yeah, no, there's none of that. None for that. But they are on the cars. You can drive the cars. You can drive the cars. You can basically get inside, and I think you move them long, or you place them 5 or something, and then you come out the other side. So that's hilarious. And we've got the Apocalypse terrain. Mike has lent us some of those. But most importantly, the Quinjet. The Quinjet is hilarious. So we have a couple Quinjets there. And the rule for the Quinjet is that it doesn't start on the board. It starts off the board.
Ooh.
And then after each round, the losing player. So say you've scored 4 VPs, I've scored 2. I roll 2 dice, and I might be misquoting this, but it's the general gist. I roll 2 dice, and if I get a crit, then I get a random. I place the Quinjet on the board, and I get a random character from my roster on the board.
Whoa!
So the Quinjet shows up and drops someone off randomly from my roster. So that could be hilarious and overpowered and stupid, but yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, that sounds like any size restriction on that character?
No threat limit, nothing. So
okay, that sounds a little sus. But okay.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's all unrated. It's all fun. Everyone's bringing very silly lists. I'm bringing Sentinels. Someone's bringing symbiotes only. Darren's bringing symbiotes only. AJ's bringing that weird is it the High Council card, and Craven with the card where if he kills Peter Parker, he becomes Spider-Man, so everyone's bringing loads of weird
great
stuff. Yeah,
that's so fun.
So yeah, that is at Spellbound Games this Sunday, and this episode should be out before then. So if you want in, DM me quick.
run fast.
yeah, there you go.
Cool. Well, I think that caps our episode off.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Oh, how about the sponsorship business?
Oh yeah. Well, we got any sponsors?
No, I meant sponsor us. We need people to sponsor us.
Yes, we do. We have to pay to keep the lights on here, and we have a Patreon. So if you want to support us, the link will be in the description somewhere, and it's just like a couple bucks, and you can help us, keep doing this without it costing us money. Because as we've seen by all the old archived episodes going missing, you need to pay for this stuff, or
it goes away.
People like Podbean delete all your stuff. So yes, we try and figure that out. So yeah, please do that.
All right, brilliant. Also, by now you should see our revised Discord and our revised Facebook page. So feel free to interact with us there, and we would love to have more chats with you. But most of all, thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed the show.